Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Monday, June 30th. Can you guys believe that tomorrow is July? This year is going by so fast. Obviously, some very tough news today if you are a Yankees fan. Just found out not too long ago that Fernando Cruz, one of the biggest pieces of the Yankees bullpen, a strikeout machine, has been placed on the injured list ahead of the critical 4-game set with the Toronto Blue Jays. We've also got the Mets coming up at Citi Field this weekend, and then the Yankees play the Mariners and the Cubs, both at home before the All-Star break. I'm sure that the guys love having the games at home before the All-Star break, right? Especially if you live in New York City, it's like having a little extra time. And they play the Mets at Citi Field right before an off day, so they have a chance to be in New York for really a few weeks. So that might be a chance for this team to gain some, time sleeping in their own bed and maybe get a little bit rested, but it is not going to be easy against some of these teams. We found out also that Austin Wells has a circulatory issue in his left hand, and he is going to be sitting for the next 2 days. They don't know exactly what's causing it. They said that the tests have been encouraging so far, but what does that really mean? If you can't pin down the issue, you got to have some level of concern. The thing that I always go back to when anybody's got any kind of a circulation issue or any kind of numbing or tingling in their fingertips or whatever is David Cone in 1996. It was April of 96, I believe. May have been early May. But he pitched in Chicago, and he couldn't feel his fingertips. And then afterwards, it was revealed that he had an aneurysm. It was a life-threatening aneurysm. But he had the surgery. He came back and he threw, I believe, 7 no-hit innings against the Oakland A's in his return in Oakland. J.C. Escarra will get the start behind the dish the next couple of nights. This will be a good test for him. He typically works well with Carlos Rodon, so, looking for good things tonight. I'm a little bit pissed off that the Yankees are facing a right-hander again in Max Scherzer and Jason Dominguez not in the lineup. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Take a look at the lineup. We got Trent Grisham leading off. Honestly, he has cooled off to the point where I think Dominguez should be starting every day ahead of him in the outfield. Cody Bellinger, 3 hits yesterday. He is in left field tonight and batting second. Aaron Judge always seems to hit really, really well at Rogers Center. And maybe he's heating up. 2 home runs yesterday. He's up to 30 on the season. I saw a stat today that he's the first guy ever to have 30 home runs and 110 hits before July. So, I think he's still going to make a run at 60 home runs, even though he's slightly behind the pace. Typically, towards the end of the season, arms get tired, and he goes on one of those streaks like he had earlier this year. So, I'm going to say 60, 63 home runs in that range now. I've upped what I thought he was going to hit. Anyway, red hot and exciting. Jazz Chisum in the cleanup spot tonight at third base once again. He had a great day on defense yesterday. Not just the home run, not just the triple. He made some great throws. He made that great catch on a pop-up. When he's playing with confidence, as he is right now, the energy just goes to a different level. And we got a call about Jazz and his energy that I'll play in a few minutes, but he has looked phenomenal recently. Giancarlo Stanton is the DH today. He is due for his first home run anytime now. Would not shock me if he went deep tonight. Yeah, you remember he went deep. I think it was off of Max Scherzer right after the COVID break. Remember the Yankees opened up that summer in, I want to say it was July 31st maybe, in Washington, and he hit a 480-foot home run off of Max Scherzer. That thing had a missile on it. It was just a bomb. But, we'll see how he does tonight. Ben Rice at first base, which means that Paul Goldschmidt is getting the night off. Goldschmidt, I feel like, has been wilting a little bit over the past couple of weeks, so I have no problem giving Ben Rice the start tonight against the righty. I just wish we could have found a way to get Jason Dominguez in there also. As I mentioned, J.C. Escarra behind the dish and DJ LeMahieu at second base, batting ninth. My opinion on DJ LeMahieu changes day to day. Some days he looks great, and some days he looks like the mummy who could barely move last year. So, I'm not sure how I feel about DJ, and as we approach the trade deadline, would not shock me if we got another infielder, and DJ became a utility guy again. Carlos Rodon on the mound looking for win number 10. He is 9-5 with a 2.92 ERA in 17 starts, 119 strikeouts, and 101 2/3 innings. As we pull up his StatCast page, you see a lot of red. And as Aiden says, Aiden will be joining us tonight to talk about the StatCast report. Red is good, and he looks great in terms of the pitch run value, fastball run value, breaking ball run value, expected ERA, expected batting average, whiff percentage, strikeout percentage, you name it. He looks terrific, and what sticks out is the 5-pitch mix. You know, not only the four-seamer this year, but slider 30% of the time, changeup 16% of the time. He's throwing the sinker about 9% of the time, and he's throwing the curveball more. So he has been phenomenal, and I'm looking for more great things from him tonight with JC Escara. All right, let's take a few voicemails here. This first one is from Myers on Jazz Chisum.
Hi, Derek. It's Myers. I had a thought about Jazz Chisum, and it's a really hot take, but I think Yankees totally won that trade to get him from Miami, not just because he can swing the bat really well and field and run really fast, but I think he brings energy to the team that we really needed, because let's be honest, the team energy the past maybe few years has just been unbelievably low. Or at least that's what I was saying. I don't know how you feel about it, but when Jazz came in, there was a wave of energy. Remember when we had our youth movement in 2023 when we had a lot of energy injected into our team? Well, I think that's what Jazz is injecting into our team that's really helped us win. I don't know. What do you think? Thanks,
well,
Derek.
When you're playing well, the energy always looks great, right? When you're playing bad, the energy looks bad. It's hard to be energetic when you're walking your ass back to the dugout or making an error. I love Jazz's energy, and I love his new 70% approach with the swing. I think that's going to save him some injuries, hopefully. I was so worried yesterday after he left he didn't really leave the game. He left his at-bat, and he was kind of holding his arm up, and he said it was like a hand thing. I don't know, but he stayed in the game, and he seems fine. You know, since the Yankees got him last year, he's basically on a 40-40 pace. He's played 99 games. Obviously, the power has been there, but the speed as well. I thought he did a fantastic job on defense this weekend, and that energizes the team. When somebody's playing great on both sides of the ball, it really energizes the team. And I know this is just a stupid comparison, but I was on a softball team one time that was just elite defensively. Elite. And we weren't even that great of a hitting team. We didn't even hit many home runs that year. But we made it all the way to the championship because we were just so tight defensively, and we felt like, you know, we would save outs, you know, and when the team is playing tight D, it really gets the pitchers feeling confident, feeling like they don't have to nibble. They can go after guys. I like to see him, you know, make some more runs with his legs, get on base and steal a little bit more, cause some havoc. Same thing that we say about Anthony Volpe, right? He's been a little bit too focused on home runs, but hey, it's what it is. Quick call from Brian.
What's going on, Derek? I've been hearing a lot of rumors anyway, different articles I've seen, and even some radio hosts were talking about possibly the Yankees looking into Ke'Bryan Hayes. I'm kind of against it, to be honest with you. I'm not against a contact hitting, solid glove third baseman, but man, he gets paid a decent amount of money, and he's only hitting in the 240s, I believe. I think maybe only 2 home runs. I think there's even cheaper options out there that they can look at. Maybe somebody, hopefully like a Josh Young, if Texas decides they want to be sellers. I think he has a similar batting average and at least 8 or 9 home runs, something like that.
So Ke'Bryan Hayes, he's not terrible. He's having an okay year. On-base percentage is not high. It's at .297. Doesn't have much power to speak of, basically hitting like IKF, only with less contact. Just 2 long balls in 285 at-bats. Does have 70 hits, but what you see here on his StatCast page is the fielding. 99th percentile of range, 96th percentile of fielding run value. He's a good base runner, too, 79th percentile. Even though he's not super fast, he's below average in terms of sprint speed. He's in the 44th percentile, so I find that interesting. You look at his spray chart, he hits the ball to all fields, right? He hits the ball, to right field, he'll drive it to left field, he can, go down the line. I mean, he does have some things to like, but as you said, I don't think he is the strongest candidate. I'm not like if they got K. Brian Hayes, I'd be like, all right, that's cool, But honestly, if you do that, you got to move Chisum back to second base. That improves us defensively in 2 spots, I think. So this might be, if it's true, if it's a true rumor, it might be one of those things where it's more of a defensive move than an offensive move. I remember we all hated Josh Donaldson, right? But you have to admit, he was fun to watch at third base. The dude could pick it. The hot corner is such a tough position that people who can really play it well, it's exciting. Got another call here about Spencer Jones.
Hey, Derek, I'm just curious. Have you changed your opinion on Spencer Jones since he's been doing so well at AAA?
Well, I wouldn't say I've changed my opinion. The one thing that we're going to talk about, one of the things that we're going to talk about with Aiden tonight, is Spencer Jones. I have been skeptical, and I have not hit it. I'm not a big believer in guys who strike out a ton in the minor leagues because I don't think that you strike out less as you move up the minor leagues. Now, he could be an interesting case because we see that he has changed his stance radically in the last month or so. And it's had results. So if a guy makes a change and has results, I mean, you have to be a little bit excited. I'm going to pull up his stats real quick. Since coming to AAA, he's had 13 at-bats. He has got 4 hits, so he's 4 for 13. That's a 308 average, so a small sample size. He still has struck out 6 times. He does have a couple of home runs. Overall this year, 76 strikeouts and 188 at-bats. Not ideal, but obviously an athlete, a good center fielder. I feel like he's a guy who could be successful in the major leagues if he cuts down his strikeouts, but until he does it for an extended period, I'm not going to be that. I mean, I'm just not going to fall for that fool's gold, right? I mean, a couple of weeks of a reduced strikeout rate doesn't exactly make me super optimistic. Do it for 2 months, 3 months, yeah, then I'd be excited. But I think what could be happening here is that he's getting hot right before the trade deadline, and the Yankees are going to take advantage of it and possibly move him in some kind of a deal. I have advocated him getting traded to Colorado. I think that it's easier for hitters to hit in Colorado. I think he would put up huge numbers. He's a fast outfielder. I think he would do a nice job patrolling the large grounds at Colorado. And Colorado has some guys that we could use, whether it's McMahon, whether it's Jake Bird, the reliever. I think there's a matchup to be made there. I haven't looked at like the trade value website. I don't think that those things are super accurate. But if I'm Colorado and I'm looking for a young guy who's got power potential, who can play defense, who is inexpensive, and, I mean, really could become a superstar with the right adjustments, I'd take a chance. I'd take a chance on him. So that's been what I've been advocating for. We'll see what happens over the next month. We're now a month and a day from the trade deadline. All right, let's get to your predictions and mine. So my prediction today, I think Giancarlo Stanton is going to hit his first home run of the season. And I think 2 hits from Cody Bellinger tonight. I just love the way he's been swinging the bat. Yesterday, not only the home run, but he hit one off the wall. I think he's doing a nice job keeping the hands inside the ball. And with 2 strikes, he's been shorting up and taking it the other way. And, with Stanton, it's just a matter of time, right? I mean, this is a guy who hits home runs. It's what he does. It's all he does. And he absolutely will not stop. Ever. Now, this is quoting Terminator, but I really, really think he is due, and I believe in due. Just like I believe in hot, I believe in due. You can't keep somebody who has this many home runs and this much power from going deep for too long. And look, the Yankees have hit well at Rogers Center, especially since they remodeled it, and I think he's going to have a good night. And remember, his first game as a Yankee was in Rogers Center, and he hit a couple of home runs. So, anyway, LB says, such a bad take. You guys want Dominguez, who has limited pop, bad defense, and K's a ton. Dominguez has already done it. Dominguez is 2 years younger than Spencer Jones and has already reached the major leagues. He's already dominated the levels that Spencer Jones is at. And he's shown some real improvement. And he's got 2 swings to work on, not just one, and a smaller strike zone. And he was the youngest guy ever to hit 3 home runs in a game for the Yankees. Come on. You can feel my takes are bad, but at least have a better one yourself. Let's get to a ad real quick, and then on with some final comments.
Building a hair growth routine is easy, only if you go with Neutrifall. Why is that, Todd Father?
Neutrifall, you think about hair. For me, sometimes the hair gets thinning. This thing will thicken your hair up as much as you need. You think about going to weddings or going to the beach or just hanging out with friends and you want to take photos. You want your hair to look good, and this is the best possibility for it.
Yeah, and thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth, that's not it, okay? They have multiple formulas for men and for women that are tailored to fit different stages of life, okay? So go check out Nutrafol. Building a hair growth routine can be easy, and you order online. There's no prescription needed as well. Free shipping, automated deliveries, and for a limited time, Nutrafol is offering the FT fam $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code FOUL, F-O-U-L. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FOUL.
All right, so we had some comments here about Luis Rengifo, who I'm going to share his StatCast with you right now. He's an infielder playing for the Angels, hitting .229 with 4 home runs. I mean, look, I'm just not excited about this guy. I'm not excited about a lot of the additions that are out there. Honestly, I'm just not. I don't think that he's a guy that will make much of a difference, right? Anyway, Jonathan Alvarez says the Yankees should just trade Dominguez. He deserves better than the BS they're doing to him. It's pathetic how they continue to treat their prospects. Now, I don't agree with the trade, but I do agree that it's ridiculous how they treat their prospects. 100%. 100%. But YOLO says, if they decide not to move Jazz Chisum from third, I would try and get Nick Gonzalez. Let's go ahead and pick up Nick Gonzalez on StatCast here on Baseball Savant. Off to a good start. 90 at bats, hitting .300 with a .347 on base percentage. You see the StatCast numbers, really good. Really good. I mean, the overall batting run value and base running value, fielding run value, not qualified yet because he hasn't played that much. But you look at some of the other numbers under the hood, the expected batting average, the xWOBA, the launch angle sweet spot, which we're seeing is important, the strikeout percentage, all pretty good. And then the fielding, the range is really good. As a second baseman, I would feel comfortable with him replacing DJ LeMahieu. Look, I think DJ LeMahieu is a good guy. I think he's a nice little player, but at this point in his career, he's more of a role player, more of a bench guy at this point. If I'm looking to trade somebody off this roster, I think I would probably move one of the outfielders, either Trent Grisham. Well, probably only Trent Grisham, honestly, because I want Dominguez in there. I wouldn't trade Dominguez. I would put Dominguez in left field every day, let Bellinger play center every day, let Judge play right. And then as a fourth outfielder, I mean, even if you call up somebody, right? I mean, you could even let Ben Rice take some reps in the outfield. I mean, he's an athlete. Can't be that bad. So we'll see how it shakes out. We're about 40 minutes to game time, so I'll see you after the game. We're going to have Aiden Bechamp on tonight. We're going to talk some StatCast. Go ahead and call in to the voicemail, as always. And big announcement. We're going to be sponsored multiple times per week going forward from DraftKings. So that means more ads coming from me, just pitching DraftKings and less of the pre-written ads from others. And, this is good for the podcast. So support DraftKings. I'll get you all the information and stuff when we start running ads, which will be tonight. But it's a huge thing for the podcast. It really is. Whether you sports gamble or not, it's huge for the podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, it's a good thing. So I will catch you guys after the game. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068 Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through NYYDesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, NYYDesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.